Right guys, we're live again. So this is the Fuselage section on the 3DLabs RazorBlade. Just in case, I don't know if you picked up on previous videos, but 3DLabs are a bunch of guys who work on 3D print, and they create a number of different air model planes. They also do boats and all sorts of other stuff. Although some of these are available, we're starting to see some decent 3D printable objects on Thingiverse as well. So you don't necessarily have to pay for them. Where with aviation, though, it seems that it's a bit tricky printing out model planes, because these guys seem to spend a lot of time um, getting the internal structure, the weight and strength, all of that sorted out. So I have bought a number of $20 or a bit of discount some months, $16 or so, but they're really good. So I'd take a look at them. But if you're a big Thingiverse fan, and I quite like Thingiverse, I must admit my son sends me some stuff from time to time to print out. Uh, there's some really good, we say jet boat or something like that. There's some pretty neat designs up here. And there's a couple I'm probably going to have a go at. This one here looks fairly complete. So Sergey, and I've already downloaded these files. Another one as well, which is a bit more. It's not a jet boat, but it's pretty neat. So you don't have to necessarily go and pay. This is a two-part fuselage, by the looks of it. Yep, so with a join here. But I'm going to have a crack at printing this out. Wouldn't be a bad idea to print it out in ABS or something quite strong. These are done in PLA, in clear. Looks like all of this is done in PLA. Yeah, that's not bad. So the only thing you need really looks like a coupling, a servo, small servo, bit of piano wire. Looks like some sort of hex bolt. Looks like some retainer bolts or threads in here. A smallish motor, and then a couple of hex bolts at the back. Then a cable, your battery, your receiver, and obviously you'll have your own transmitter. But looks pretty neat, and it goes. There's a video up here. So it's drawing water in underneath. It's got a decent hull. It's drawing water underneath and just running it through effectively a tube, which is what a jet boat's all about, right? If you've ever been on a jet boat in New Zealand through the rapids, it's quite an experience. The speeds they go. Obviously, these guys have been doing it for years, and the distance away from the river banks, the stones, the rocks. You wouldn't think these boats can go over such thin water, but they can, because they've virtually got no, they're obviously ramming air underneath, and they're just really only using this little tail section here where they're skimming over the water. So there's not much hull that's immersed in the water when they're running at speed. And so what they can do with these things is pretty remarkable. Yeah, there's a couple of videos up there. Have a look at them. So yeah, you can either buy stuff, or you can get free stuff. I would check the comments on a lot of these. This is a good one. I've seen the video on it, but some of especially the aircraft related stuff. So if I said what Delta Jet or something like that, I don't know. See what we come up with. Some of them may not print out correctly. Yeah, let's have a look at model or RC plane. See what's up here. Oh, RC, not RD. RC plane. Yeah, there's a few up here. I've had a look at some of these. The wing sections aren't really that clever. They're not, but because it takes quite a bit of effort to get the wind sections designed right. That looks not too bad. I think I've had a look at this one already. There's not a huge amount up here. That looks pretty reasonable. In fact, that looks quite a good one. Looks like it's got a decent wing section on it. So you might want to have a look around. Yeah, this looks actually pretty good. It may have retracts on this one as well. I don't know. Yeah, that looks pretty neat. So there is some stuff starting to come up here, which is getting pretty good. That's a nice looking plane. Yeah, do like the look of that. Yeah, printable undercarriage as well. Yeah, okay. So have a look around the Thingiverse. There's other websites as well, but Thingiverse seems to be the main one people go to. Um, Within Cura, there's a Thingiverse add-in as well, so you can browse objects within Cura and just download them. So fuselage is coming up. Next piece I'm going to print is Control O, the second section of the fuselage. So we're on to B. Now, because this is pretty much the bit that's going to take the hammering on landing, the nose won't so much, unless you're going to face plant it. This bit I need to figure out if I'm going to go for one wall or two wall. I think on my original one I went for one wall, but because this is probably going to be flown by my son, I reckon I'm going to leave two top layers, three, let's have a look, bottom layers. Yeah, I'm going to go for three bottom layers, two top layers. But I'm going to have a look at what a wall thickness of two looks like. So I'm going to beef it up a little bit. So some sections of the fuselage I typically leave as one because I've already got internal structure which gives it rigidity. And other sections I tend to beef up a little bit. Now obviously this will increase the print volume, the amount of material it's going to consume, as well as take additional time. But it's worth investing 7 hours. That is with two walls. That's quite a lot. Let's have a look at it in preview then. But this is a fairly heavy part of the fuselage. So let's just wait for that to finish slicing. Okay, so let's come down. Yeah, so you can see I've got my two wall thickness now rather than one wall thickness. There is a floor in here, look. So this is where it's getting additional rigidity from. And it's a box with a couple of supports. And if I come all the way down, yeah, there is, if I just look into it, there is a decent amount of support built in. So 91 grams and 30.49 meters of material. Let's bring that down to a one wall count. I'll slice it. Just see the time difference in the amount of material it's going to consume. So of course the heavier it is, the harder it is you've got to throw it, because the more weight you put into the model, the more chance it has of stalling. Yeah, that's a huge difference. 4 hours, 1 minute, compared to double that really. So that's a one wall thickness. So I think I'm going to stick with one wall because I did in the first one. It's just too heavy. It'll be too heavy. Too heavy on material in terms of time more than anything. So I think I'll stick with a one wall thickness because it has got these additional trusses underneath that is giving it additional support. Let's just rotate that around a little bit. You can see that. Yeah, you can see the kind of material layer they've been added in to give it sufficient strength, because it's going to take impact landing. Yeah, so I'm quite happy they designed this pretty well. You can see the way they've designed it with a little bit here. Look, it's like a truss or a support rib. Yeah, another one there as well. Look, it's built one in here in the floor and the layer, and then obviously that element here, this truss here, is coming into contact here. So yeah, it looks to me like it's all right with a single wall thickness. It's been designed properly, and providing you give it a couple of top layers and a couple of bottom layers. So I think I've got bottom layer. In fact, I'll probably get away with 2 bottom layers and 2 top layers, which should be adequate to provide a decent bond with the nose section, and then the next stage bond with the following C section. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Yeah, all right. I think that's where I'm going to give. I'll give that a go. Here you can again, you can see the additional sections in here. I may have mentioned you can choose X-ray view, which is quite a nice feature, so you can see these sections a little bit more clearly, or X-ray view. Yeah, so I'm going to give that a go. Just zoom in there and check those layers again. That's 3 hours 57 minutes with 2 layers. Yeah, so that's sufficiently light and sufficiently strong. All right, guys, catch you later.